So can you introduce yourself and tell us what you teach and how long you've been doing it?
My name is Shirley Weedy. I've been teaching off and on since 1968, and I teach mostly math. I have currently here at Sheridan Middle School, I have 2 computer classes that we study. Basically, one of them is learning to type by touch.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what role technology played in education when you first started teaching and what kind of technology there was?
When I first started teaching, there wasn't any, period. I mean, that's easy to answer.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a calculator.
Wow.
Nor did the kids. And I remember very well teaching here at Sheridan on a Sunday morning. Got the Indianapolis Star, and LS Ayers was running an ad for a desktop calculator for $99.95. And my wife and I jumped in the car and drove as fast as we could legally to Indianapolis to an LS Ayers store to get that calculator, because they'd normally been $150, maybe a little bit more.
Wow.
And I was so proud of that calculator because it would print. It had paper roll on it. It would
Wow.
print and would add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and had a memory. And I thought, this is great. And I used that for several years. I was not in favor of getting a computer for many years. So I did it the old-fashioned way. But to start out with, when I started out, there was no technology at all. It was all paper and pencil and use your brain. And I don't remember when technology first got started. I was teaching here at Sheridan, and we were all real happy because we got the old Apple computers in and had a very small Apple lab. And kids would come in, couldn't even take a whole class at a time because we didn't have that many computers.
Yeah.
And there was another gentleman here that ran the lab, and when he left, I had taken some computer classes, and I took that over, and then our labs kind of developed from there. Now I don't do much with the labs anymore, except teach a couple classes in there. But it's gone from nothing to where it is today, where our kids here in our middle school, you probably know this, but we're on one-to-one technology, and all of them carry a Chromebook with them. So we're into technology about as much as you can get for right now.
Yeah.
For us.
Do you like trying to intertwine like teaching math with technology, or do you prefer to keep math and your teaching separate from technology?
That requires a 2-part answer.
Okay.
Do I enjoy it? Yes. Do I like intertwining it? Yes. What I don't like is the students, and there's a lot of teachers here in the middle school that share this opinion. The kids are sitting there with their Chromebooks, and it's so easy for them to get distracted. They will open them up and play games.
Right.
And you just have to keep your eye on them, say, close your Chromebook, we're not doing that. You can use it when you need it. We have a program called ALEKS, A-L-E-K-S, that's an acronym, that we're using for kids to review for math. And so they need the Chromebooks because it's an internet-based program. And they can get a lot of good out of their Chromebooks. But keeping them focused and on task is a chore. It's a full-time job. Turn your back, they're playing a game on their computer.
Yeah.
So there's times when I'd like to throw them through the window. And there's times when, well, you got to climb out the window and get your Chromebook because you need it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you feel like technology is hard to keep up with as an educator, like how it's always evolving and changing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for someone my age.
Yeah.
It's like trying to teach an old dog new tricks. And we took on the Google Classroom 3 years ago. And it was changing. It seemed like daily.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but I got so frustrated with it. I was running down the hall to one of the younger teachers and asking her all the time, how do I do this? And she was so patient and just helped me through it all. Now I can pretty well do what they need done, but don't use it as much because of
Right.
Alex.
Do you have anything that stands out as particularly like interesting or funny in your journey as an educator, like working with technology?
There's one story that I think is hilarious, and it's due to one of my mistakes in the computer lab. We had a new class in the computer lab, and I was working with our technology director,
Yeah.
and she mentioned to the kids after we got done with the lesson, she said, if you want to try something out on your computer, she gave them this website name, and it was about Washington, D.C., and they could get information about what goes on at the White House. The website was whitehouse.net. And they got on that and they were looking through it and seeing what the president did and the cabinet. Very interesting website. Well, the next day, we were all back in the lab and we said something about, well, why don't you get into your White House account again? All of us, me included, the technology director included, totally forgot, and we had the kids put in whitehouse.com, which was a well-known .com, was the big web-based address then, and it was a porn site.
Oh my goodness.
So a couple of kids, give credit to the kids. One raised his hand, Mr. Weedy, this doesn't look right. I went back. Here's a picture of President Bill Clinton, bare-chested,
Oh my.
with a necktie on.
Oh my goodness.
And our technology director was in there, and neither one of us knew what was wrong. All this was new. We didn't get it. So we both said very quickly, X out of that, close it out, we'll figure it out what's wrong. We know you're in the wrong place, it's not your fault, nobody's in trouble. And thank goodness the kids spoke up before anything really bad
Yeah.
appeared. And I have never been on that site since then. I don't know how bad it could have gotten.
Yeah.
I think it could have been really bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, that stands out in my mind. Now this was, oh my land, at least 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
One of those unforgettable moments.
Definitely, I'm sure.
So that's the one that stands out the most.